Minister, just before Christmas, NAMA announced that they possibly had approximately 2,000 properties available for local authorities and housing associations, and that funding for these would be made through the social housing leasing scheme, as you mentioned. NAMA bought these debts at the time and at a reduced rate. They didn't buy the properties. Would it not make more sense, Minister, to call in these debts, that NAMA should call in these debts and get the properties returned to the state fully owned, if the property developers cannot deliver on this? It doesn't make sense for local authorities to rent off developers who in turn will use this money to pay NAMA. And I'm asking the Minister, is this money going to go directly to NAMA? Does it go to the property developers who in turn will pay off NAMA? So that's one of the questions I would like answered. Because this is a lease scheme, does it mean that these properties will return to the developers? So they have it both ways. They get the properties back and they get the local authorities and the housing associations to pay the debts. This is, to me, this is paying on, the state paying on the double. It just doesn't make sense. So could the Minister address some of those, please?
Thank you, Deputy. Minister?
Well, first of all, Deputy, this is a value for money proposal for the state. We're in a situation where the capital budget has been considerably reducing in recent years and is quite low now at this stage. And we are getting good value for the state, where we are accommodating a sizable number of people under leasing arrangements. About 20,000 people, I think, or 20,000 households are currently accommodated under leasing and RAS elements, and including these NAMA properties will come in under that scheme. So, we have to operate under the law. NAMA has been given a role, and it's been given a legal role, and we cannot simply, though we might wish it, that local authorities could in effect acquire properties for nothing from NAMA. But the reality is that that cannot be done, because the properties that have come in under NAMA, they've come to NAMA because of the fact that the owners concerned basically can't pay their debts. So this is a way of using the properties that are available under NAMA to house families who need housing, to do it in a value for money way, and in a way that will work for the people concerned. Now, as you said, you raised the fact that there's about 2,000 units that have been made available. Now, at this stage, we have to assess whether, first of all, whether they're suitable, whether they're in appropriate areas, and whether they're in a fit condition. So there are a number of elements of this that have to be determined at this stage. But in effect, what will happen is that there will be approximately 2,000 units that will be made available for social housing in various parts of the country, and that they will provide homes for people. But the reality is that while we might wish, to get these properties for nothing, that just simply cannot happen. That is not a realistic proposal. They have to be acquired at market values, and they have to be acquired in a way that works under the regular systems that are there already in terms of leasing.
Dessie Ellis.
So I don't think we're requesting the properties for nothing. I think we've paid for them. We've certainly bailed out a lot of people in paying for these. We've helped a lot of developers in getting them out of hot water, and I don't accept that we're looking for them to be got for nothing. I think when you said this scheme that you're introducing, maybe in the short term there might be something gained there, but in the long term it's not in the best interest of this country, and certainly it's not in the interest of the state that we are paying developers to pay off NAMA. It doesn't make sense. And Minister, I think we should look at another way of doing business. I know you're saying there's a legal requirement. We've gone down this road, but certainly to me it looks as though we are helping out people, helping out developers who got themselves into trouble, and we're paying them on the double.